Hey y'all, it's Jenny. Welcome back. Today's recipe is going to be a tomato pie. This is a recipe that David's co-workers absolutely love, and they've been begging me to make it for the last 6 months now. There's two ways you can make it. My mama used to make it meatless, and today we're going to make it with some ground sausage. The first time I ever made it, David was like, "It's really good, but where's the meat?" So I'm gonna show you how to make it today with some ground sausage. Okay, so here's what we're going to need for our tomato pie. 2 cups of Monterey Jack cheese, or you can use sharp cheese, whatever you would prefer. 1 cup of mayonnaise. 1 medium-sized chopped onion. 1 package of ground sausage cooked. A little salt. Some basil. And I usually use 2 to 3 tomatoes sliced, and you can see about how thick I slice my tomatoes. And then a deep dish pie shell. Okay, so one of the first steps that I always do is I take my deep dish pie shell and I poke a few holes with a fork on the inside of it, just like that. And before I even start layering anything on the inside, I put my pie shell in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes until the center part starts to bubble up a little bit. And that's how you know when it's ready to start putting your things inside of the pie shell. So we're just going to put it in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes until it starts to bubble. You're going to slice your tomatoes ahead of time and place them in a colander. And then I put the colander in the sink to let the juices drain off. And I go ahead and I sprinkle a little basil on top of my tomatoes, and then I sprinkle a little bit of salt. And I just let that sit there for about 10 minutes before we get started to make sure that the juices are all off of the tomatoes. You can see that our pie shell is ready. And if you notice, there's some bubbles on the edges, and that's how you know that it's ready to be pulled out of the oven. Alright, so now we're going to start the layering process. The first thing you'll do is just place your tomatoes inside of the pie shell. Doesn't have to be fancy. And you can see my basil that I put on there beforehand.
Basil for governor.
Okay. So the next step, we will go ahead and put our onion and just sprinkle that on. Okay. Now, I typically don't measure this out, but I'm going to put a little bit more basil on top, and you can just watch how much I put on there. Okay. Now, the next step, we're going to put our sausage, and you can see this is going to be a big pie.
An American pie.
Haha. Okay, and then just spread that out. Just like so. Alright, so now we're going to mix up our cheese and our mayonnaise mixture. Yummy, fattening goodness. Alright, once you have all of your cheese mixed in with the mayonnaise, you're ready to put that on top of your sausage. And this is your last layer. I think William's excited about the tomato pie. So now let's just put our mayonnaise and cheese mixture on top. And I just spread it out like so. And Dave is drooling out of his mouth right now.
Oh.
Our pie is ready to go in the oven, and it's going to cook on 350 for 25 to 30 minutes depending on your oven. Alright, so here's our finished product, and you can see it looks delicious. And you can notice all of the layers in the tomato pie. the tomatoes on the bottom, the onions, the sausage, and the cheese and mayonnaise layer. All right, that's about it. Thank you for tuning in.
Mama.